saying that so-called traditional masculinity not only is harmful, but could also lead to homophobia and sexual harassment. And the main thrust is that traditional masculinity, which you are the great defender of,
that's called
by the
being
way,
a man, by the way.
Guys kill themselves at a much higher rate than females do.
That sucks.
Jenna, holy
Mr. G, you are not the father.
You are the reason why my heart is still above water.
I'm sorry, Mr. G.
No one has ever told me what it means to be a man. As a teen, I thought perhaps me losing my virginity, having my first shave, or conquering a village would mean I've arrived at manhood. And although some of these things brought me intense joy, I was wrong. If you're a woman listening to this, you truly don't know the pain of being a young man and having a woman look you in the eyes and demand that you man up. My ex-girlfriend told me that before we broke up, and at the time, I had no idea what she meant. Growing up, I'd had some conversations with men about how to handle situations in a masculine way, but the men telling me seemed just as clueless as me, and these conversations always involved a reading between the lines. Plus, most of them were divorced, angry, and probably hadn't been told what it means to be a man either. What I wanted was a masculinity manual. By the time I was 18, the legal age of adulthood in the UK, most boys my age were falling into drugs, going out every weekend, getting obliterated, having a fight, cheating on their missus again to then tell everyone at sixth form on a Monday that they'd had the best weekend of their life. Alcohol, girls, and undisciplined aggression. As a young man, you get ridiculed if you don't engage in these things. I quickly learned that no one was writing the manual for me. I'd have to take the initial stages of becoming a man alone, and in fact what I needed wasn't a manual at all. It was a rite of passage. Between the ages of 18 to 21, I thought I was a man, but I wouldn't have been able to answer the question, so what does it mean to be a man then? Because I hadn't been through a breakup yet. I had no clue what my purpose in life was, and the maintenance of my mental health was boyish. And yet I still thought I was a man. However, there is one thing I can tell you for certain about these years, and that is where the journey of becoming a man began with me. It all began with a backpack and a dream. The rite of passage I speak of happened when I was 18. I left the town I'd spent my whole life and solo travelled across Europe with one backpack. 2 months in, I was working in a hostel where I was the only guy worker. All the other staff members were beautiful, feminine, Eastern European women. One night in the hostel, I had a dream that my mum told me I was dead. And upon waking, I intuitively knew what it meant. It wasn't a sex dream, don't worry. Because I was away from opportunities of hand-holding and relying on others, surrounded by lands undiscovered and daunting missions never completed before, the boy in me had begun to die, and the man was being born. This, and a fountain of other experiences that I'll spare you, have brought me to where I am today. 23 years old, holding the confidence to say I now know more about what it means to be a man than ever before in my life. So get relaxed, because now I'm going to share this knowledge with you. A man is his own being. Unperturbed in his strength, he is like the great rock which stands still amidst the chaos of the ocean. A true man cannot be shaken from his purpose, nor misguided from his desire to protect others, especially his family and tribe members. He understands that all things emanate from his inner fortress, which he continuously builds, strengthens, and maintains. A strong man knows he cannot pour from an empty cup. He is assertive, and this assertion is direct and calm. Primarily this comes from his connection to his values, principles, and standards which guide all of his decision-making. From the great man all things flourish because he is attentive, and most importantly, he is kingly in his own nature. Among the man are 3 social ties. Number 1 is his ideal woman. With her, he is bonded in divine love. It is her he protects, loves, and grows with. And he is responsible for the growth in their intimacy. She, the mage, polarizes his masculine core with her femininity, which complements and challenges him. She is able to snap him out of the do mode, which conspires most of his life. She loves him and is loyal to him because the great man doesn't believe in an impossible love. He understands that his attraction to the feminine is inevitable, and it's through this understanding that he continuously chooses his woman. He does not settle for cheap sex, nor does he invite lustful temptation into his heart. And when he hears the call of the sirens, he takes a full breath and continues rowing. The second social tie a man has is his tribe. The tribe are the friends and family that the man protects, bolsters, shares with, and celebrates life with. And it is through his tribe that his purpose is fine-tuned, he is challenged to live to his edge, and his service is actualized. Number 3 is God. What distinguishes the average man from the great man is that the great man is guided by the Creator, Giver, and Destroyer. In awe of God, the great man walks humbly, and he allows God to act through him. It is through this that the great man gets out of his own way, and allows the work of God, the man's purpose, to be his gift to the world. And when the path gets tough, as inevitably it will, and the man finds himself losing his direction, he prays and accepts God's strength, love, and guidance, and then he returns immediately to his service. In essence, the great man respects the 5 core tenets of action: unflinching presence and an open heart in each moment, consistent discipline with himself, courageous action with fortune, childlike playfulness with everyone, abundant love and fullness with his tribe. He follows the 5 keys of health, which are rational nutrition, sensible exercise, efficient rest, proper hygiene, and a warrior mentality. The 3 states of mind he cultivates are Sanshin, awareness, Mushin, stillness, Fudoshin, emotional balance. He serves others and the universe to the best of his ability, and he always acts as an embodiment of truth. If there's one thing he understands, it's that the masculine is always seeking release from constraint and into freedom. When he forgets this, he chuckles, returns his mind to the moment at hand, and allows himself to be the freedom he's always searching for. Ultimately, it is through his truth that the great man becomes a guide to the world, making others stronger in his presence and absence. Finally, the great man understands that the ultimate test of his truth is his ability to willingly die in service at any given moment. In service to God, his tribe, his family, the universe, and all others who need protecting and awakening into their truth. And when his final moment comes, humbly by God's side, he welcomes his old friend Death with an open heart and a cunning grin. As we bring this video to a close, you might be reflecting on the man we've just described and say, "Oh, what a man, I would love to meet him. Who is he?" But, dear listener, this great man I speak of is you.